The Lakers have a serious problem, or problems, I should say, as the Lakers lost another game to the shorthanded Grizzlies with similar issues rearing their ugly heads, and it's up to the Laker players, JJ Redick, and the coaching staff to find new solutions sooner rather than later. However, there were some few bright spots for the Lakers on this road trip that could lead to something moving forward. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest coming at you with another video. And before we get into everything we have for this game recap, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to get those Laker updates, guys, especially with us trying to push towards our goal of 3,000 subscribers. We are ever so close. So each and every one of you guys who subscribe to the channel truly help out. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into that game recap, as it was not good for the Lakers, as the Lakers finish 1-4 on the road trip. So the Lakers had their longest road trip days wise for them, as they were gone away 11 days from Crypto Arena, and they lost this one to the Grizzlies 131-114, and they got the day off with some bad news, not having Anthony Davis and Rui Hachimura, as Rui Hachimura got added late to the injury report with an illness, so he did not play against the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Lakers were down 2 starters to start their game against the Grizzlies, and that kind of had them shorthanded. And we'll kind of just go through the game and just kind of see what really went wrong for them. But first and foremost, LeBron James was tremendous, and he was really kind of keeping the Lakers afloat in that game before it got away to them late. So let's take a look at that box score for the Lakers. As like I said, LeBron James was tremendous, 39 points. He was 6 of 11 from 3, shot an efficient 15 of 24 from the field. He had 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, while he did have 5 turnovers. There was still a lot of great things LeBron James was doing, and he was probably the most consistent player on both ends of the floor for the Lakers. Jackson Hayes, starting in place of Anthony Davis, had 8 points, 10 rebounds, but you would definitely love to see him more in the reserve role. And then you had D'Angelo Russell, who shot pretty poorly, 4 from 12 from the 3, 2 of 9 from 3, only had 12 points. Austin Reaves, similar situation, 2 of 9 from 3. He did make a couple more shots, 7 of 17 there, but 19 points, which is all right for Austin Reaves, but he could have definitely played better, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And then Dalton Connect, it was his first NBA start, so definitely give him some slack there, but he was 1 of 7 from 3, and just really couldn't find get it going on the offensive end. But there was a bright spot off the bench there with Cam Reddish having 15 points in that one and played some pretty solid defense on John Morant. But besides that, nobody else, with the exception of Christian Koloko, who played his first game in about a year and a half, there wasn't really any bright spots there for the Los Angeles Lakers. And like I said, when you're down 2 starters, it is very hard to win in this league, especially when one of your starters is Anthony Davis, who has looked like one of the best players in the league, as he's leading the league in scoring and has a dominant force on the defensive side of the ball too. So the Lakers missing their main guy was a big reason why they were probably not going to win this game. And then you also throw in Rui Hachimura not playing, who has been pretty solid this season as leading the Lakers in 3-point percentage. He was not able to go because of an illness, and that also affected the Lakers as well. So in that first half, really, for the Lakers, they were still competing and still kind of being in the game, due in large part to LeBron James, as his ability to really will teams to being in games and just taking over and doing the thing that he's done for the past 22 seasons, as he was tremendous, like I said, to really get the Lakers to sort of stay in the game. And also the Grizzlies were making a lot of turnovers and really coughing the ball up, so that really kept the Lakers afloat in that one. The Grizzlies were also down a few players, as they didn't have Desmond Bane or Marcus Smart, but they did have John Morant and Jared Jackson Jr. and some of the other guys that many people might not be too known about. But this is the Memphis Grizzlies box score, as Jared Jackson Jr. was solid for them, 20 points, 6 rebounds to go along with 3 block shots. Jaden Wells, who is a rookie, he had 20 points, was 5 for 7 from 3, so he's pretty impressive for his game. John Morant did leave early because of an injury, but he was still killing the Lakers in his minutes, as he had 20 points, 5 assists, and was really going back and forth with LeBron James. There was a little spat those two had. And then just off the bench, they had some nice contributions from Jake Larvia. Jay Huff, former South Bay Laker, he almost had a revenge game. And then Scottie Pippen Jr., a guy who was on the Laker roster also last season as well, had a very solid game for them, 14 points, 3 threes. He also had 4 assists and a steal and a block for good measure. So the Memphis Grizzlies really came to play with the requisite energy and effort, even though they were down a couple of their main guys. They had some guys step up for them, and they also had their main driving force, John Morant, be in the game for them and really help push that energy forward, because that's what John Morant does for that Memphis Grizzlies team. But the Lakers, like I said, just didn't have enough really, and it was, again, same problems really rearing their ugly heads, as the Lakers were poor in transition defense, which is where they've been at the bottom at in the NBA, not be able to get back on plays and even on made baskets as well, as JJ Redick was talking about it after the game, and just how that lack of effort really led to certain things. He also talked about D'Angelo Russell not having the requisite effort because he didn't play the last, I believe it was 18 minutes of the game there. And then JJ Redick said something about it on D'Angelo Russell after the game. This is the post game. So this is what JJ Redick said. And he said, the level of compete and attention to detail, some of the things we've talked about with him about a couple of weeks, at times has been really good. Other times it has been revering, just he's reverting to certain habits. It wasn't a punishment, but for us to have a chance to win this game, that was the route we wanted to take. Gabe in the first half, especially defensively, was fantastic. I just wanted to see what that looked like. So this is kind of like the same issues with D'Angelo Russell. While he can be a very a pressure cooker and microwave scorer sometimes on offense, when he doesn't have it and the defense is not really there from a mental standpoint, then you start to see some of the things that happen. And then you have a guy like Gabe Vincent, who is really struggling to score for the Lakers, taking up playing time because of his compete defensively and what he can do on that side of the ball. So D'Angelo Russell not playing to his optimal strength is not ideal for the Lakers. And then you pair that with Austin Reaves. While he is playing hard and doing some things, he still does have some limitations from an athleticism standpoint. And then having both of those guys not really do their parts, while LeBron James is really trying to shoulder the load there in the front court, because he's starting next to a rookie, and then also Jackson Hayes, who is mostly just a rim runner and a lob threat. He is not Anthony Davis by any means. So even if the Lakers did have Anthony Davis, just it didn't seem like the Lakers had the proper energy and effort from the rest of the guys. And a lot of people are really thinking just really poorly about how the Lakers were, as it was a full 180 of how they were in that first week, going 3-0 in that one. But now you flip that around after this road trip. They are now 4-4 after going 1-4 on that road trip, with some poor losses to the Pistons, and then also this loss here to the Memphis Grizzlies. So this is teams you don't really want to be losing to at this point of the season, because those things can really come back to bite you, as we've known good and well as Laker fans, as the Lakers have been in that play-in range because of these early season games that they keep fumbling. But I did mention there was some few bright spots for the Lakers, as this is kind of really the silver lining of the road trip for the Lakers. And honestly, something that kind of surprised me as well, as one guy who I mentioned earlier who played tremendous was Cam Reddish. Let's go back and look at those stats there. As for Cam Reddish, as look there at the bottom, he had 15 points, 5 of 7 from the field, had a couple of threes that went down, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And you know, when Cam Reddish is getting after it defensively, because that's what he was doing. He was actually tasked with guarding John Morant there, and he was really stifling him in certain situations, up to a point where John Morant, I think, only had 6 points in the paint in the first half. And that is really incredible for a guy like John Morant, who really almost touches the paint every time he drives. So Cam Reddish being that defensive stalwart, that agitator on that defensive end, is really thrusting him into minutes. He's really taking over Max Christie's minutes, who has started the season quite poorly. He did shoot a little better in this game, but that was mostly in garbage time. But Max Christie hasn't been playing up to the caliber that he can be. So in comes Cam Reddish, and he has looked waves better, especially on the defensive side of the ball, really wreaking havocs and really upping the tempo for the Lakers. So this can be a thing for the Lakers because they kind of need that point of attack defender that can really get after it, guard guys 94 feet, and really not complain about it, because that's what Cam Reddish has now been known in the league to do, to be that impact defender. So if the Lakers can get Cam Reddish to be that type of guy and not really have that huge fall off on offense, then I think you got something there with Cam Reddish, hopefully getting some minutes there and helping some units really defensively, because that's where the Lakers truly need the help. And then another player that I also want to highlight, and because it was his first game in about a year and a half, and just congrats to him, and that's Christian Koloko, as he played 13 minutes in this game. And he only had about 2 points, 2 rebounds, but he did have a block shot, which showed the capabilities of what he can do on that side of the ball. It was actually a really nice play that he had, as he was guarding almost 2 on the ball. It was on a screen and roll, as he was guarding the ball handler, and then he was able to get back to the big man to get that block shot. So Christian Koloko does have some tools and things the Lakers can use. So hopefully he's able to get some conditioning under him and kind of get himself up to speed on what the Lakers are running on both sides of the ball, and see if he can get some spot minutes here or there, because there are going to be times like this where, say, Anthony Davis doesn't play, and then you're going to need some minutes from a Christian Koloko. So that was big for him to get some minutes, get some run, and look pretty solid out there for a guy who hasn't played for a year and a half. But also there was some other good news for the Lakers, as Anthony Davis, while he didn't play in this game, it looks like he is going to play in the next game, as JJ Redick says he expects Anthony Davis will be available on Friday versus Philadelphia. But he did note the Lakers are taking a long-term view with his health and player health in general. So that is, I think, the appropriate response for the Los Angeles Lakers, because you obviously don't want to run Anthony Davis into the ground, but you want him to be out there for as many games as possible. And yes, it would have been nice to have Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis probably wouldn't have been at 100%, and that is more detrimental to Anthony Davis for the long term, because we are still up here at game 8 of the season. So we want him there through games 82. So we want to make sure that Anthony Davis makes it through the whole season fairly healthy, fairly whole, so we can be able to use him in that postseason and that time where playoff basketball is upon us. So I am okay with that decision to sit him. It is what it is, that the Lakers did lose this game. It's unfortunate how they lost. They could have still won the game, but some things didn't fall their way. But Anthony Davis looks like he is going to play that next game. And then also Dalton Connect got hurt. He got hit in the mouth there. But Dave McMenamin of ESPN gave an update saying that he did not require any post-game x-rays on his jaw. So that is always good news. So that possibly means nothing is broken. So it just possibly looks like that Dalton Connect was just shooken up on the play. So it's good that that thing is not too serious for Connect, because the Lakers cannot be losing bodies at this point of the season, especially when they still haven't gotten all the bodies that they've had on the injury list back. And I'm talking about guys like Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt, especially, because that is looking more and more like the guy that we truly need on this roster to really change some things defensively for this Laker team. But that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Leave a comment down below of what you think of the Lakers' current state right now. Are you upset how things are going, or is this just more a part of the process? There are going to be some highs, there are going to be some lows, but evidently if the Lakers can get to where they need to be and obviously have Anthony Davis playing, then I do think for the most part they will be fine. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. And then also, like I said, one more thing, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. There's about 75% of you guys who are not subscribed to the channel just yet. And if you guys want more of those Laker news, Laker updates, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.